Good evening, Brian with Grand Roofing, back at it with a DIY how to install the bathroom ceiling fan vent roof damper vent kit in the roof. So typically I've done these before and they are actually a Braun or an RVK1A. RVK1A is the kit like this by Braun. This is actually a Manco. I didn't know Lamanco makes these. It looks identical, but anyway, nevertheless, we're gonna get into it. This model is the BRV34 kit, also known as Lowe's, Menards, Home Depot, Braun brand RVK1A or 636. We're gonna get into it. All right, on the way, if you could give it a quick thumbs up, my battery may or may not go dead. Hopefully we can get all this in one shot. I'm at like 20% power. It's cold. I didn't realize, haven't charged these in a while. So yeah, doing this for you guys. If you could do that for me, really appreciate it. We got a second one way down yonder to put in. We're only gonna cover this one from start to finish on the roof side. Then other than that, the only thing to do is go inside, adapt it to your fan, tape it up, whatever. Caveat, or not really caveat, but just FYI, these are flexible aluminum foil looking kind of polymer tubes right here. If you're gonna do anything of a long span, be aware you don't wanna put too much deadhead pressure on the fan blowing very far. You don't wanna reduce the size, it'll hurt the fan, the flow of everything. You wanna match size for size. And if it's gonna be far, or you're in a cold climate, condensation will freeze. Maybe use an insulated flexible line. Same thing applies on the roof side that we're gonna do. Just don't drop in the flexible line. You're gonna adapt with the insulated flexible line. That's the only thing. Costs a little bit more, will be better. Just want to point that out in here. All right, let's get into it. Apologize for the motion sickness. It is me, myself, doing this. I don't have other people. So we'll go quickly through this actual kit and then how to put it in the roof and knock it out. Wow, theirs actually comes in a bag. The other ones don't. Same adapter here, flexible line, and the vent itself. I've never used this, but I do believe what this is for is to go around this. I'm not sure. Honestly, I've never really looked at the instructions for it. Twist lock it in, roof, yeah. Where's that little black piece right there? What's that actually for? Connector, hose, flexible duct, fan, roof jack. I think it is around that right there. Hose tie. Hose tie, no, that's the zip tie. Flexible duct. Anyway, I can't say that I've ever used this. Some people have told me before it goes up here, under. No, you don't want to change that roof profile from the roof deck. Anyway, let's get into the video because my battery is going to go dead here. First thing is to know the general area of your fan that it's going to be over or in and near. If it, I mean, you want to keep it as close to as possible. If your bathroom is on the front of the house, you don't want to put it on the front, then put it as close as you can to get it to that where it's not cosmetically in sight. That being said, when I was in here a few months ago, because we did the roof, the metal cast iron pipe right here, it's going to be right here in this general area. Closer to the better, flexible line better. First thing, know where your rafters or trusses are. Typically I'm 170 pounds and I don't know if the camera will show it. You just tiptoe your body weight and you can see where the roof is sagging in each location, but not right there. It doesn't give right here, so that tells me that there's probably a rafter down the edge of this. Sometimes these are in a wall, or in the attic it'll reduce and go into a wall. So that's probably a bathroom wall going this way or this way. Either way, there's probably a rafter right there. And probably here and here. If it's trusses, they're usually on 24. Rafters are closer together. It's not a surefire way, but it will give you an idea. So I'm just gonna take a quick minute and really try to pinpoint. Right there feels like a rafter. I don't want to be on top of this, so we're gonna go one over right here. I actually did this a minute ago and put a little scrape right there. So a couple things, tips. You can flat bar this and cut this to slide in, great, but you're not gonna be able to do that with this connected. In the attic with this installed, getting it lined up, trying to reach in and connect can be hard because there's a little bitty cut right here. There's two rings. And then if you look at this right here, where that is, the way this goes, let me get my camera off my head and close up for you guys to see this detail here. You'll take this and get it started like this right there. You can see that little cutout. It's going to go into that notched right here, and you simply turn, keeping slight upward pressure, otherwise it just comes down. So start fresh again, put it right there like this, and turn that a full 360 degrees, and you'll hear a click coming up right there. That's it. It's on. It's not going anywhere. Now to get this out is actually rather hard. You've got to bend this tab back up over that and twist it back out. What I was wanting to point out and show you, some guys, yes, it is easy to shove into the roof and do, but trust me, when you're in the attic, it's tight, it's dark, especially if you use the hole saw, you're not gonna be able to see where that's gonna go to twist lock that in. So it's much easier to do this up here where you can see, put it in the roof. That requires you to loosen the shingles, maybe even remove shingles. So knowing that, looking at, this is the long-winded version, the tips and tricks, what I've learned over decades. This right here, by a keyway where two shingles come together, and here's another one. If I loosen just this area and I have it cut to go in right here, I should be able to lift this up enough and shove it in. If it was in, say, the middle of that shingle, right, in here, you're gonna have to take the whole shingle loose or out and the one above it to get it lifted up and flexed up enough to be able to come in the roof like this and then drop it into your hole. Doesn't say battery power, but I'm gonna pause the video real quick because my little battery indicator is almost gone and I don't want to do all this and not have it record. So I'm hoping I got a couple more batteries in here with more power to do this real quick. We will be right back. All right, we're back. Battery's pretty warm. Yep, it's 4%, so good thing. Put that in there. I got one more opportunity here on this one to do this successfully with you guys. Oh, if you could, please, it would mean a lot. All right, tools needed, basic flat bar, hammer, things like that. I took a chunk out my knuckle earlier today on a steeper repair I was doing, so I'm gonna throw gloves on. It's not that it's cold, it's just that's a little sore. And granules are like sandpaper. All right, so there's the mark I just showed you right there. Make sure I am rolling. Yeah, we're rolling. So my plan is, again, just to verify that where is, feels like a rafter is right here. So you know that's an important thing. You don't want to put this in right over a rafter. So you want to do your best that's off from a rafter. So where this is, I'm actually going to try to do these two loose and put the vent right here on this side. Probably where this cut factory edge is going to be right here on this. I think that would be really good. And before I cut those, I'm going to flat bar it out, lift it up, and drive an 8 in a hand nail to see how loose it actually is. But knowing that, if I put this mark I just put right here, I put a little mark right here, it's actually going to be on the edge of that shingle right there. Let's start removing some nails. This is also a good chance to show, this is a Tamco Titan XT shingle we put on earlier this summer. It's black, it's had a chance to stick down. This is an east-facing slope. It's also had a chance with open sky right here to seal down. We're gonna split the seal strip and see how repairable this is, by the way. So you can see they are stuck down. They are splitting. The older, the more oxidized asphalt, well, it's an oxidized asphalt shingle, but the older it gets, the more brittle it will get, so they should still be pretty daggone flexible. But the seal is good, it is bonding. And now here's the issue with not Tamco, GAF. Somebody I was talking to the other day was trying to split it, and it's so paper thin in that area, it tore the shingle very easy. This, I don't think will have that issue. This should be relatively easy. I would normally be able to do this in like, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that, but I'm gonna try to narrate and show you and explain things along the way. You do need to get enough of this loose to easily roll that shingle up to get that vent in. So this is pretty loose to get it in there. Probably one more nail to the edge of that. That's something else I want to point out too. If this is sealed down, you lift that, see how it's tapering down gently, and you don't get what you need, you're gonna break or tear that shingle. So just simply split that last 8 inches right there to this, and then you can roll the whole thing up much easier. And okay, got that out, same thing here. Okay, a lot easier. Let's take this seal strip. It's a tab because it was offset for the vent pipe. That's good. If you had a full shingle, it would have broke right where that flange is. Get these nails. Actually, this is going to work out really good in my favor. I could probably pull this tab out very easy. Getting another nail or two out of the side right here. Those are out. This should pull out now. Beautiful. Tamco Titan shingle, sealed down, easy, repairable. There's the nail zone. Nice. Now I can get in here and I can see what I'm doing and working with here. Let's get a, well, we can do a tap test here. There's a Raptor right there, it sounds like. You can tell by the density, the sound, the feel of it, and the sound of it. Just to confirm, we're gonna go high. It's not gonna hurt because I'm not near these, but I'm gonna put this high just for that reason. But this should feel some good resistance going into the roof. Missed it, I think. Go an inch over. Missed it. Let's try to go. I'll just drive that down. Probably an inch to the left. I just want to verify. There it is right there. I'm actually off a little more than I thought. It's kind of hard to tell when you're beating through a shingle, but nevertheless, that right there, that is the Raptor. So, you don't want to make the mistake and cut this where this is going to hit that. And by doing so, right here like I'd planned, right there it hit. As long as that Raptor stops right there, you actually have another ½ inch in. I want to confirm real quick. If this doesn't hit, it goes right down. That is good. I will have no trouble getting this in right here. Now it's just a matter of how high up you want to go with this. Ideally, you don't want to go to where a lot is exposed down here, but you also don't want to go so high that does this number. Anywhere in this area is good. Typically when you're roofing up, you want to run this part of the shingle past the back side of the pipe before you transition. So it's going to be in that area. You don't want to go super high up because then you get where water could run under and hit the shank of the nails. So with that being said, we're going to go to about here. So we're going to go up another 1.5 inches on this. Let's just go about 2 inches here, right there. Let's get our distance over. 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch gap, 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch gap, about right here. Let's come over. Forcing it like that, it breaks free, it's gonna slice. Plant your hand, lift up a little bit so you're not cutting your stuff under it, and push with your thumb planted. You're getting a lot of force on that without it gonna break free and go flying. Just a tip there with that. There's nothing worse than doing this and whoop, slicing through this whole piece. Much better. Now, we're gonna have to split this and pop a nail out of that. Right there. Get that nail out because it was the edge of a shingle. This should go in now. Easy, good. We're gonna need to cut this down to about here. I forgot to bring up my Sawzall. You could use a hole saw. It's not needed. If you have it tight, it's going to be a pain to get in there, like I said earlier. I'm going to check the battery here. Pause it real quick. Okay, our battery power is getting real little sliver, but basically I just need to go get the Sawzall plunge cut into this. I'm going to do that real quick, see if I have any other batteries. Usually carry 2 packs like this in the truck. I need to try to find the other. Maybe it's got more power. If not, I got one more opportunity here. Or possibly USB-C battery pack into it. We can try that too. Be right back. All right, we're back. So this is the battery that was in the camera, 3% battery power. I found another one in the truck, so I think we're good. Throw that in here, throw that in there. I still have one more potentially to try, may not have much, but the one I found in the truck next to my tourniquet had 80% power, and then I got this as an absolute last resort. So we'll try this. This should be the last uninterrupted cut. Grabbed the Sawzall while I was down there. I'm gonna plunge cut in with a wood blade. Make that big enough for this to go into. Plenty big. Gives it some room to adjust and maneuver around. Battery's about dead. Come on, I think I can, Bingo! Look at that right there. That is a good guesstimation right there. Let's see where it is. We are right over the fan. Now I promise, I have not been in the attic since we did this roof, but if you go to my software here, this is the power of CRM software, Customer Resource Management. All right, so I'm trying to watch and make sure I don't show too much here, but if you look at this picture, it's round because that's the part that was lit up, but if you zoom in, that's the kitchen. That is the vent pipe that an HVAC company put in right there that they later capped off because they aren't using it. Then you have the furnace B vent, which is right here. If you look close in between the two of those, there's a cast iron pipe, which is that. And just behind there, back when I did this, which was uploaded September 16th on this customer file, that's the power of CRM software, especially when you're working within an hour of your operating area. It's very worth it. On top of that, if you ever plan on selling or want to be profitable to some investors, just a little side note, you want to make sure you got stuff in place to treat it like a business, not a hobby. Boom. All right. I just want to show you that this can be done, because typically I would just tape this on, tape it the way it is, but I want to show you it is possible. We're going to remove the one they have in there and put this one on. This is more so to show you that it is possible to do this. It's just a little bit of a pain. If you can flex this up just enough or use a nail, hopefully I got this in view here, and just get this popped up enough to hop that. Let's do this side, might be easier. Bend it enough to jump that right there. Doing this in the dark in an attic that's dirty and dusty is not ideal. There it is, so it's over it now. Now you can just spin this out. Don't forget to bend this back up a little bit, and that is how you do that. This is how you would typically dry fit this in. Slight drip groove around it right there, that's good. This one we're just going to trim down, not a big deal. That's how you could put it in. But sliding this in with shingles here with this on's a pain. Being in the attic and connecting that is a pain. Just want to show you that it can be done. Let's get this stretched over. Try to get one metal ring at least over this. It's a nice snug fit. That's actually way tighter than the bronze brand. And then we're going to use some of this HVAC tape here. It's pretty sticky, good, durable stuff that's going to hold up in the temperatures in the attic, the extreme cold and hot. Now you want to make sure you're going from here to there with some good foil on that. Make sure it's stuck everywhere around. I think the first battery got me 7 minutes intro and all. The second battery 7, so we're at 14, and whatever time we're elapsed to on this one currently. We're losing a lot of daylight this time of year. It's I think what, 4? What time is it? 5:10. I was gonna say 4:40. 5:10. All right, same process. Put this back in. And not until you see that click down, coming up, you'll hear it, right, coming up, there it is, in and on. Drop that in. This is where you're gonna need to be gentle and flex this. Much easier with this stuff loose, where this edge is. Trying to do it in the middle of a shingle is really hard. It can be done, but you gotta be careful not breaking something. So in that case, it's best just to remove the shingles. There it is. Let's get this cut right here. Just lining this up right here. Hook blade, where's my hook blade? Side of my pouch I'm not used to. Damn. There it is under my glove. Let's mark that. And then your height right there. Pick up so you don't cut your work underneath. That cloth, I don't know if I got my snips on me, probably not. We're gonna cut it from the underneath side here with the sharp straight blade, because that cloth can be kind of a pain to get through. And right in that top part, you're gonna cloth in there. There it is. Looks good to me. Obviously it's going to go under the shingle there. We'll be able to tuck that in. Alright, so I'm going to get this lined up here where I like it. We're going to shoot it off here. This thing is amazing. I absolutely love this gun. Alright. I don't like shooting the very bottom or the very outsides. If it's going to be under this, great. I'm going to keep it out far enough that I can put a bead of sealer down here and it's going to be good, but I'm also going to lift it up. That's the most important thing. Right here. Same on this side, right here. I didn't quite get the metal. Got it there. And then we're going to get the top parts here too, and then I'm going to put some sealer down and put these in, because you don't want this flopping like that either. I should be able to roll this enough to get this up in here. I tore that shingle. Damn it. Did not want to do that. That's what I was trying to avoid. It's not a bad tear. This is going to be under there, but yes, you want to avoid that. Let's try to get under here. I'll explain why here in a second. You want to try to get those up. You don't ever want to shoot down near the edge of this flange. And granted, that is superficial. If I had a black shingle here, I would address that and just change it because it's already out pretty loose. But you want to keep those nails up as high as you possibly can. All right, I do apologize. There was a phone call that came in. I either blurred it, blanked it, cut it. That's all it was. Nothing new here is done. I just had to take the phone call. Okay, back at it. So yeah, you don't want to tear that. Taking the shingle out, that's fine. If I had one, I'd replace this. We're getting dark, I'm showing you, but the point being, you don't want to nail right around the edge of this because water hits, diverts, and channels around. We're going to put a thin bead around the edge of this flange on both sides across the top. That's what this is for right here. We're getting ready to do that. This is an after the fact install, but basically you're going to put a bead over that nail and down the edge right here, and you'll press this in. Cover that nail. I'm gonna put a bead around these to seal. Just a thin dab over those because I don't want them to eventually work up. They'll be sealed down. Reach up under there on this side. It's cold, doesn't want to come out very good. Put a little bit down here where you split that seal. Press it in. Let's get this top. And good. So typically, if you're doing a new install, you can put ice and water, you can simply seal it, whatever. Again, this is after the fact later. And I'm also not charging for this. I'm only asking that they buy those. They had kind of a bad experience with some HVAC companies with the other things like that and whatever. Second time they've had to come back, put the fans in. All right, shoot it off. Put a little sealer. I did this one, so we're gonna shoot this. So I'm not shooting on the right or left. I'm not shooting the inside of where that line of sealer was. So those are shot. This is sealed down. I'll seal this down in a minute. Actually, let's do that now. Put a little dab of sealer. And block that little tear. You do want to avoid that, but let me say that this isn't going to cause a problem because the shingle under it's no different than where these two right here come together. The shingle under it's what keeps that protected. So yes, you don't want to do it, but I'm just showing you. There's nothing bad with it. Those will stick down. Got to shoot this row. That one right here kind of went in crooked. We're going to pull that out. It technically didn't even go into the wood that great. It was in such an angle it went like that. So we're just going to pull it out and then try to reshoot next to it. There you go. The problem is the gun part here is hitting the shingle and it's causing it to be an angle. Okay, we never took this one out. It's still pinned down, sealed down, in. Never took these loose. They're still sealed down. We're going to put a bead of sealer on the corners around the nails. You don't want to draw a big line, especially where this is, because water seeps in, you want it to weep out. But you do want to reseal it down. $16 minutes in, minus a phone call, 2 7-minute clips in the other battery, 7, 14, 20. I'm gonna guess maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes, not bad, despite the little glitches and hiccups. The last thing to do, because this is all in and done, installed, there's a screen here, by the way. I wouldn't recommend this on a dryer, but if you do, pop this screen out right here. I don't know if you can see it, because lint will get caught on that. But inside here, there's a damper, very low PSI. Turn on the fan, lifts up, blows air, shut the fan off, drops down, just keeps some of the draft and the draw down out of there. All right, again, if you guys got any benefit out of this, that's what I do this for you guys, if you could. just share it with somebody you know looking this stuff up, let them know about Grand Roofing. I plan on doing a whole lot more in the time to come. It's been hard building a company and trying to shoot content, so I want to do more answering questions, reviewing contractors, things to look out for, a lot of stuff like that. If you got any good ideas of content, let me know in the comment section of this video. I know you watched it this far, and it does help give me an idea of what to shoot. So until next time, be safe. We'll see you then.